The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Time for our weekly conversation with the general manager of the Utah Mammoth, Bill Armstrong, kind enough to hang out with us. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great today. How you doing?
Man, I'm great, and it was so much fun watching that game on Sunday against the Kings. I know it got a little iffy into overtime, but just the mental power of your team to get through and handle adversity has been really fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a battle. It's one of those games where it was a back and forth game where each team took turns at kind of dominating certain periods of the game, and I love the fact that we were able to kind of walk out of that game with the win. Where there was will, there was way, and they kind of give it to us a little bit in overtime, and Veggie made a great save, and then we went the other way and scored. But it was a great game. It was a meaningful game, and LA was fighting for their life, and
yeah.
They're just giving everything they had. So I love the energy that our fans brought. I kind of thought it was like a playoff game for us, and it's one of the loudest buildings in the NHL, and our fans brought it.
Krause and Schmaltz, obviously, with big moments in the game, and certainly in that first period, and then in overtime, these guys stepping up for you in a big way.
Well, yeah. I mean, and Schmaltzy, one of the best goals all year. He kind of scored batting it in, but it was a huge night for that line. Keller, Krause, and Schmaltz, they just found a way to get it done. And Krauser was huge. Just a big man playing the game hard, playing it fast, and finding ways to help out on the score sheet. So he was big, and Schmaltzy was too. He finished on two of them for us and got the game winner in overtime. So both those guys had huge impacts for us.
How does when you go in that overtime format, does your speed really start to show a strong advantage in those situations?
I think it does. I think we're a pretty skilled team, a team that can, absolutely fly. The problem is you got to get a hold of the puck.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Is you got to win the draw, because you don't win the draw, you don't get the puck. And so we were just on our heels the entire overtime, and then finally we were able to battle to get it and went the other way and scored. But our speed does play a huge role in our overtime success during the course of this season. And we're 3-on-3. We feel like we got an advantage because of our speed and skill.
Do you like that for overtime?
I do. I think it's good in the regular season. I'm happy that it's not a part of the playoff, format. Listen, the work they did on the game way back when to change it and make it an entertaining game, bring goals back, no hooking and holding, and then you go to 3-on-3, then you go to a shootout. These games that fans go to, they're entertained from the start all the way to the end. And I love the format because it ends games. It's a closer. Especially with our team, we find ways to end games in overtime. So it's been great. It's great for the league, and we're pretty good 3-on-3 team too.
Jack McBain picks up the third star. Walk us through his performance, not just in that game, but what you've seen from him as of late.
Well, we're moving into hard hockey here in March. It's playoff hockey. There's about 20 more hits per game in our games right now. Jack McBain had 9 of them. And he just plays a big man game. You're going back for the puck on the other team, and he's forechecking you. You're going to pay a price. He'll help out physically any way he can, but he's been a huge player for us in the third line with Hayden and Carconi. They all complement each other. but they play a hard brand of hockey. Michael Carcone, one of the fastest guys in the league, and he had 6 hits on the night too. So it's a physical brand that line plays, and Jack McBain is a huge part of that line.
So when you look at Edmonton rolling in, what is about this team that, I mean, obviously enough is said about McDavid, but it's more than just him. I mean, this team overall has been really good. They're really fun to watch. What makes them so special?
Well, Connor McDavid, you put a guy on him and you're going to go shut him down, and your guys go out there for a hard minute of hockey against him, and he's just getting warmed up because he's got about another minute in his body where he can go flat out. So he's a special player. He's skilled. He plays the game at a different speed than everybody in the National Hockey League. And they only need one to kind of make their team go, and he's the guy that makes them go. So, they're a team that they've had some ups and downs. They could score 8 in a game and get the win or give up 8 on a loss. So they haven't been consistent enough in this year, and we're hoping that we can play a brand of hockey that we respect. Obviously Connor McDavid, but we compete against them. When we can shut them down, then it gives us a better chance to win the game. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an exciting game, and all our games right now are like Game 7 for us to get us in the playoffs.
So I'm curious to know, you mentioned that you see these guys and they're targeted at such a young age. Do you remember how old Connor McDavid was when people started to realize, this guy might be the next generation of superstar?
I'd heard stories on him, and there was a game called the All-State, like prospect game. And it was a game that had, kids that were like 15 years old in the game. It's right before they entered junior hockey, and someone had sent me a clip on it, like in an email, and it was of Connor McDavid, who was, I believe, like a year younger than the kids.
Yeah.
And he scored a goal, and I thought someone had sped up the tape because of his speed and how fast he was moving his hands with the puck. And I literally said, "This is fake. Like, nobody can do this." But it was the truth. He was just so far advanced. And then, I saw him when he was 15 playing for Team Canada over in Sochi, and he was just lights out. He was the real deal from the get-go. And, he plays the game hard, and he plays the game the right way, and he's just a great ambassador for the game. But, he is somebody that has pushed the game as far as skating. I think he's had the biggest impact on the NHL in that regards because of his technique that he uses, how he skates. And when you're that fast, you kind of bring your group along, and next thing you know, other people are skating like him and producing those type of speeds. So he certainly changed the game forever with his speed. Is
there anybody in NHL or hockey lore that kind of compares to him, or is he just one of one?
He's one of one for me. There's nobody that's been able to kind of duplicate what he does, because I think that where he's a superstar is the fact that he's not only fast with his feet and his hands, but also his head. Like, he thinks the game like he's driving a race car at 180 miles an hour. He's just he processes so fast, it's incredible. So I think that I haven't seen anybody else like him. I think Celebrini probably is the next guy coming. That's in San Jose that plays the game like that, but there's not many in the world. He's kind of one in a million.
I love these extensions that you guys are getting signed to. Mike Carcone gets his skill set has just been incredible to the lineup, but locking down a lot of these guys, I think, has just been, everybody talks about trades and free agency, but sometimes the best recruiting you can do is keeping your locker room together, and I know you guys have put a huge emphasis on that.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, we came into Utah, Ryan and Ashley Smith, set some goals and some standards of what they wanted to get accomplished, and they're building the rink, and just the practice facility, everything, and they put high standards for the group, and our players fell in love with that. They love the facilities. I think Coach Turnay's done an amazing job at providing an environment for people to come and work every single day, and push the envelope, and I think there's a whole package, and Utah is beautiful. It's an unbelievable place to play hockey. The mountains in the background, the people are super kind, and Mammoth fans are crazy. They want hockey, and they want to see us play the 83rd game of the year in playoffs. So, it's an exciting time to be a Mammoth player, and you can see people re-sign because they want to be a part of it.
The fact that the Jazz have been a minute without playing in the playoffs, I think that when you guys are in the playoffs and when you're hosting a game in Delta Center, you can ramp that up to an 11 because it's going to be insane. People are dying for a little April playoff anything around here right now.
You can feel it. You can feel it in the building. As soon as you walked in there right now, you can just feel it. It's just energy. It's constant energy. We're in warm-up the other day, to play the Kings, and, you can just see the crowd gather around the glass, and it's getting bigger every single game, and it's just the Mammoth fans are growing. The people in Utah fell in love with the game of hockey, and it's a special time right now, and our team is pushing to get in the playoffs, and they're hungry, so you can feel the energy. It's an awesome thing.
Got the entry-level deal for Denoye signed. Is he progressing the way you'd like? And I know you want to take your time with these youngsters. What does the future hold for him in the next 3 years?
Well, he is a special player. He's an unbelievable centerman. He's the captain of the Moncton Wildcats, one of the number one teams in Canada. He's going to push the envelope to go play for a championship here with his club, but he's exactly the guy that we drafted. We think he can come in and play and be an impact centerman for this organization. The difference in basketball is they come in right away, and in hockey they take a lifetime before they come. So there's a little bit more maturity, a little bit more development that has to go on. And whether he makes our team next year or he plays in the American League, he's getting closer. He's exactly what we ordered. He's got great character. He's a leader. He's a captain. He's someone that wants to make a difference when he comes in. So we couldn't be prouder to get him signed up and on the dotted line. And he's one of the guys that are coming in that are going to push to make our club next fall.
You guys are physical, and sometimes that leads to some time in the penalty box. You got the Oilers, the best power play team in the NHL. So I got to imagine you want to be physical, but you got to be careful about it tonight.
Oh, you got to be delicate. You got to be really, really delicate on it, and you never know how the refs are going to call the game. So you certainly need to work in the environment of what they're calling and walk that line of playing hard, but playing smart and not taking dumb penalties. And that's a key for this club, especially against the Oilers tonight.
So, by the way, I always think it's fascinating because I work with a lot of college basketball coaches, and they see the same officials pop up from time to time. And And so I'll have a coach come over and say, you see that guy there? We can get away with this tonight, or we can do this tonight. Do you guys kind of look at the officials and say, okay, this is what we can push the envelope on? Ooh, we can't do this with this guy.
We see so many different officials. I think we try to, I think that's more of an in game where you can sense, hey, they're going to call this, they're going to call that, and you got to have a feel with definitely with the officials. I think we try to have a thought process that if they're not calling it our way, we'll beat them too. There's no excuses here, but we simply want to be certainly respectful for them, and there's a way that you got to handle those officials and work with them. And I think our club has improved on that. I think there's a general respect level when you deal with them the proper way. And it's one of those things with, that's a hard job to be an official in the National Hockey League, and we try not to make it any harder on them. At the same time, work with them. But yeah, there are some officials certainly that call more things, and you got to be aware of it. But we don't deal with the same officials every night, so it's probably a little bit different in our sport. We've got two referees going at the same time.
So, great story posted on NHL.com about how the Mammoth has really set themselves up as a franchise, not just a team, but a community, and with Ryan and Ashley Smith and what they're building, and you as well in the culture you're fostering here in Salt Lake City as a potential destination location, if it isn't that already. And I think that's really cool. It's a really cool vibe for the rest of the NHL to realize, hey, they got something really good brewing here in Utah.
I couldn't agree more. It's a great story. For us on the inside, we're constantly culture, and it's a 24/7 job. It never stops to make sure that you're making sure that you have the right environment, and you're always preaching and teaching and making sure that our players know about how we want to play the game and who we are as an organization. So it's nice to get rewarded with a great story. That's been a long time in the works. For us behind the scenes of drafting, developing them and then getting them into the NHL. And, it's come full circle for us. There's still a lot of work to be done. We're only taking baby steps to go in the right direction for playoffs, but we're getting there. We just got to continue to fight. But, yeah, certainly a great story for the organization and us coming to Utah and with our ownership and what they were committed to do and got done. And it's been a great place. Put it this way, I shouldn't lose as a GM. I shouldn't lose any recruiting battles. How's that sound?
No doubt. Hey, Big Three, 3-game homestand. Good luck, especially tonight. Keep it rolling, and let's chat again next week.
Oh, thanks for having me on. Much appreciated. Let's get the win tonight.
Let's go. Bill Armstrong. Man, I always love catching up with him. Such a great conversation. Open, honest, transparent about where his team's at. And hey, look, he understands it. He feels it. If this team can sneak into the playoffs, watch out.
The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA is heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.